We had Texas Task Force 1 in New Orleans who, at the request of Governor Jindal, and they absolutely showed the rest of the world how to perform and take care of our neighbors. And then obviously all the volunteers. Mayor, you got a great city, and Judge, you got a great county, as you know. But this is I guess the second or third time that Tyler has played such an important role as we've had mass evacuations out of harm's way. And again, I'm really proud of how Texans have performed, whether it's the Red Cross or whether it's the Baptist Men's Association. I mean, there's so many of the volunteer groups. It's the coordination of all of those. And Steve, I want to say again to you and to Jack Colley, thanks for and Mayor, it's this great coordination that has occurred across this state that I think other states try to emanate. They try to copy us, which is a great form of flattery. The state of Texas has a system that works. From time to time, nature can just overpower you, and we pray that never occurs here, but we know it's possible. But the citizens of this state should take great comfort in knowing that we have the absolute best preparation and then execution of a disaster of any state in this nation. The federal government and their coordination has been really great to work with, and I know we have FEMA representatives here today, and our National Guard and the active duty military forces were involved in this operation as well. So to all of them, I want to say thanks, and with that, let me open it up to any questions that those of you in the media may have for myself or any of the other participants.
What were the people saying when you went in there?
Thank you. By and large, folks are ready to go home. But I asked each of them as I went by, was their stay in Tyler good? And they said yes, they're ready to go home. When you're dislocated like this, but making their stay as pleasant as you can under the conditions is a great attribute that this city and this operation has to offer. So again, thanks to the local folks and making people under tough circumstances welcome, and their stay here was as comfortable as it could be.
Governor, how would you compare how the state handled this evacuation compared to Rita and who the state took in from Katrina?
When you look back 3 years, we've had a number of other natural disasters of which we've learned from them. Whether it's the work of pushing our fuel supply in, whether it's the process of contraflowing our highways. We've learned a lot over the last 3 years. And after each either real-time, real disaster or a practice, we've learned something new. Each of these is different. The idea that we've had, I think, 2 hurricanes that have made now 3 with this one just this year. We've had massive fires, we've had floods, we've had a substantial number of disasters in Texas. That just goes with our state. We have a lot of big events. So we learn from them. Have we got it to perfect yet? No. But we're, I think, again, as prepared as any state in the nation. People looked at Texas, and when our neighbors ask us for help, we're there to do that. And so again, we will deconstruct this operation after it's over and see where we can do it better. But again, I think we've had now 3 hurricanes and no loss of life directly attributable to those hurricanes. And that's really the issue here. No one likes to be picked up and moved out of their homes, but someone in the operations center said we would a whole lot rather be dealing with buses than body bags. And that is a great compliment to the professionals at the State Operations Center and those local judges in particular, because they in coordination are who make the decision about the evacuation. And I think they did it timely with the information that they had and appropriately.
You're talking about that coordination with county officials and city officials as well, I mean, from the state level. What is that process like when you're trying to take over an undertaking like this?
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask Steve to step forward. This is Steve McCraw, and Steve actually is our Homeland Security Director, and he's going to give you a quick Cliff Notes version, if you will, of the coordination that goes on between the state and these local judges and mayors, etc.
Well, first of all, there's no takeover. As the mayor can tell you and the county judge.
Just bad choice of words.
Yeah, no takeover. Integration of effort. But I can tell you this mayor and this county judge and their emergency management professionals, they train, you know, it's not on a daily basis, certainly on a weekly basis, and they're prepared, and they've done a tremendous job. And we go through our H-120 sequence, and it relates to hurricanes, and it's not just our county judges on the coast that are getting ready. It's these mayors and county judges are up here in these host shelters, like Tyler, that provide a tremendous capability. They're getting ready. And we spend a lot of time working together in terms of, as the governor talked about, 66 different hurricane exercises we've conducted. We do these statewide conference calls to get a shared view of the threat. These mayors and county judges from El Paso, Amarillo, Lubbock, Tyler, around the state that are hosting our special needs evacuees, medical and non-medical, are getting ready and participating.
Could you say and spell your name for me again?
Yeah, Steve McCraw, MCCRIW.
And have you been down south in parts of Texas already? What are you hearing from people in Beaumont, city officials down there, just about this situation? And
they're ready to get their folks back in. The good news is this hurricane took a track that frankly was not projected 48 hours prior to landfall. Beaumont, Port Arthur, even down to Houston was in the cone of possibility of where this could strike. And if there's one thing we've learned about these hurricanes is they are highly unpredictable. You look at Dolly that went into South Texas, it was projected by everyone to be a Category 1 storm. It stalled just off the coast, came in as a Category 2 hurricane. We always plan for one level higher than what the Hurricane Center projects, and for good reason. Dolly was a great example of it. Again, the absolute worst thing I think that can happen for our state, and more importantly for the people, citizens of the state, is for us to try to be too cautious on the side of not moving people, and then having a hurricane make an unpredictable move and we have a substantial loss of life. And to me, that's unconscionable. Sure, we wish we didn't have to move people, but the fact of the matter is all of these citizens would a whole lot rather be moving back to home, knowing that we've had 72 to 96 hours of being discombobulated, rather than what we saw 3 years ago, people having to be saved off rooftops and then the substantial loss of life. We do it right in Texas. And again, it's the coordination with these local officials that makes it all possible, and this great volunteer network that we have across the state. It's pretty businesslike now. This isn't a frantic effort that you might see in some states. You see clearly a plan in place. We know exactly what our timeline is, and then the storm becomes the real guider, if you will, from the standpoint of what our moves are. But again, let me just wrap up by saying that I think Texans should be appropriately proud of how they performed during what could have been a cataclysmic event. And because this storm did not make a direct hit on Texas, we're thankful for that.